Deep within the heart of South America lies a world untouched by time, a boundless emerald expanse stretching endlessly beneath a shroud of mist and golden sunlight. This is the Amazon rainforest, the largest tropical rainforest on Earth, a living, breathing force so immense it conjures its own storms and shapes the destiny of an entire continent. Here the air is thick with the scent of rain and earth, and the very atmosphere hums with life, every breath a chorus of ancient rhythms and wild energy. From above, the canopy appears serene, a vast, unbroken sea of green, where treetops sway gently in the breeze, their leaves glistening with dew. Sunbeams pierce the mist, painting the jungle in shifting patterns of light and shadow, while clouds drift lazily overhead, casting fleeting shadows across the endless forest. The canopy is a living roof, sheltering the mysteries and wonders that lie beneath. Beneath this tranquil surface, the forest floor is a labyrinth of tangled roots and thick undergrowth. Here, filtered light dances across mossy stones and fallen leaves, illuminating a world where every step is a journey into the unknown. The air is heavy, saturated with the scent of damp earth and the chorus of unseen creatures. Ferns unfurl in the dim light, and fungi bloom in secret corners, thriving in the perpetual twilight. Sunlight struggles to reach the ground, creating a twilight realm where shadows stretch and shift, and every sound is magnified in the hush. The forest is alive with the soft rustle of leaves, the distant call of birds, and the subtle movements of creatures hidden in the gloom. In this dim world, every leaf and shadow conceals a secret, every sound hints at a story unfolding in the darkness. This is a kingdom governed by nature's raw laws, where survival is a daily test and every creature is both hunter and hunted. Animal tracks crisscross the muddy ground, silent evidence of nightly dramas played out beneath the cover of darkness. Here, the struggle for life is relentless, and only the most adaptable endure. The ground tells stories of silent stalks, sudden chases, and the eternal dance between predator and prey. Towering kapok trees rise like ancient sentinels, their massive trunks wrapped in vines and epiphytes. The winding river carves a silver path through the jungle, its banks alive with the calls of monkeys, the splash of caimans, and the flutter of countless wings. Every branch and root is a highway for life, a network of passageways for the forest's many inhabitants. Bromeliads cradle pools of rainwater high above the ground, creating miniature worlds teeming with frogs and insects. On the forest floor, armies of leafcutter ants march in endless lines, carrying emerald fragments back to their hidden colonies. In the shadows, apex predators move with silent purpose, their eyes glinting as they stalk through the undergrowth. Every creature, from the smallest insect to the most powerful predator, is woven into the fabric of this ecosystem. The ants' tireless procession is mirrored by the silent, watchful movements of predators, each step a testament to the delicate balance of life. The Amazon is a living tapestry, its threads formed by the lives of countless species. Parrots flash through the canopy in bursts of color, monkeys leap from branch to branch, and reptiles bask in dappled sunlight. Each life is connected, each action rippling through the web of existence. The calls of howler monkeys echo at dawn, while toucans and macaws paint the sky with their vibrant feathers. The air vibrates with the chorus of cicadas, their song rising and falling like the jungle's own heartbeat. Frogs croak from hidden pools, and the distant calls of birds echo through the trees, blending into a symphony of wild sound. The constant hum of insects forms a backdrop to the drama of life, a reminder that every moment here is alive with movement and music. Time moves differently here. Ancient trees grow slowly, their rings recording centuries of storms and sunlight. Moss creeps along their trunks and orchids bloom in the crooks of branches, each a testament to the patience and persistence of life. Lianas twist and climb, reaching for the light, while ferns and bromeliads create lush gardens in the shadows. To enter this world is to step into a realm untouched by time, where the wild reigns supreme and the past lingers in every leaf, every stone, every whisper of wind through the trees. The forest is a sanctuary for life, a place where the ancient and the new exist side by side, and every corner holds a story waiting to be discovered. Beauty and danger walk hand in hand here. Sunbeams pierce the mist, illuminating the vibrant greens and deep shadows, while hidden eyes watch from the undergrowth. Every moment is a delicate balance between wonder and peril. The jungle's beauty is matched only by its unpredictability, where a single movement can mean the difference between life and death. The jungle guards its secrets fiercely, wrapping them in layers of green and shadow. Mysterious pathways wind through the undergrowth, their destinations known only to the creatures that call this place home. The deeper the shadows, the more the forest conceals, holding its mysteries close in a silent, watchful embrace. The deeper one ventures, the more the forest reveals its complexity. New sounds emerge, new scents drift on the air, and the sense of mystery deepens with every step beneath the ancient canopy. Vines hang like curtains, and the ground softens underfoot, muffling every movement in a world where silence is as meaningful as sound. The Amazon stands as a living monument to nature's power and resilience, a library of wonders, its story written in the language of life, still unfolding with every sunrise, every heartbeat, every breath of the wild. Here, in the hidden heart of the jungle, life persists in all its forms, fierce and beautiful, mysterious and eternal. Deep within the Amazon, where the moon's silver glow barely pierces the tangled canopy, an unseen world awakens. The air is thick with the scent of damp earth and the chorus of insects, their calls weaving through the darkness like invisible threads. Shadows stretch and shift, concealing the silent ballet of life that unfolds beneath the ancient trees. As daylight fades, the vibrant calls of macaws and the playful chatter of capuchin monkeys give way to a profound hush. In this silence, every rustle of leaves, every subtle shift in the undergrowth, signals the presence of creatures perfectly attuned to the night. The black panther's padded steps are nearly soundless, its muscles rippling beneath a coat that melts into the dappled shadows. The anaconda, patient and unblinking, glides through the leaf litter, its scales catching the faintest glimmer of moonlight. The forest floor is a living tapestry, woven with secrets. Giant ferns unfurl in the darkness, their fronds sheltering tiny frogs and insects that chirp and hum in the humid air. Orchids, delicate and otherworldly, cling to ancient trunks, their petals glowing faintly in the gloom. Mosses blanket the earth in a lush, emerald silence, muffling the footsteps of prowling predators and the scurrying of prey. In this labyrinth of green, the black panther glides like a phantom, its golden eyes scanning for the faintest sign of movement. Muscles tense, it stalks with a patience honed by countless nights. Nearby, the anaconda lies coiled beneath a blanket of fallen leaves, its tongue flickering to taste the air, every sense alert for the vibrations of passing prey. The tension between hunter and hunted is palpable, a silent drama played out in the shadows. The air is thick with anticipation. Every vine and branch becomes a stage for mysterious encounters, fleeting glimpses of fur slipping between tree trunks, the glint of scales as a serpent slides through the undergrowth, the echo of a struggle lost to the night. The forest holds its breath, waiting for the next act in this eternal contest of survival. Even the smallest details add to the sense of wonder. Dew-laden spider webs shimmer like jewels in the moonlight, each strand a testament to the patience of its creator. Bioluminescent fungi glow softly on rotting logs, casting an eerie light on the forest floor. The silent river winds through the jungle, its surface broken only by the watchful eyes of a caiman, while mist rises and drifts above the dense foliage, blurring the boundaries between earth and sky. The jungle guards its secrets fiercely, Paw prints, pressed into soft mud, vanish with the next rainfall. A tapir darts through the shadows, its presence betrayed only by a sudden rustle. Overhead, the fleeting shadow of a harpy eagle glides between the branches, while thick vines twist around ancient trees and bromeliads cradle pools of rainwater, nurturing hidden life. Every track, every whisper of movement hints at stories unfolding just beyond sight. To witness the rare confrontations of these elusive giants is to peer into the Amazon's most guarded mysteries. In a world shaped by vigilance and the ever-present possibility of the extraordinary, every moment is a fleeting vision, an echo of the wild's most enigmatic and powerful forces, forever shrouded in the living darkness of the jungle. Deep within the emerald labyrinth of the Amazon, where sunlight filters through a cathedral of leaves and the air hums with the pulse of unseen life, two silent rulers move through their domains, one cloaked in midnight, the other armored in emerald scales. The jungle is a living tapestry woven with tangled vines, colossal trees, and the constant chorus of insects and distant calls. Here every shadow conceals a secret, every ripple hints at a lurking presence. The black panther, a living shadow, glides through the undergrowth with spectral grace. Its paws, padded and silent, barely disturb the carpet of fallen leaves and moss. Muscles ripple beneath its obsidian coat, each movement a study in controlled power. The panther's golden eyes, luminous and unblinking, cut through the gloom, attuned to the faintest flicker of movement. It moves with a patience born of countless hunts, pausing to listen to the rustle of a lizard or the flutter of a bird. Every step is calculated, every breath measured, as it melts into the darkness, becoming one with the night. Beneath the tangled roots and mirrored surface of the river, the green anaconda waits. Immense and patient, it coils among the reeds and submerged branches, its mottled skin a perfect mimicry of the dappled light and shifting shadows. The water is its element, cool, silent, and concealing. Only its nostrils and eyes break the surface, betraying nothing of the titan below. The anaconda's body, thick as a man's thigh, undulates with slow, deliberate movements, disturbing neither fish nor frog. It senses vibrations, the faintest tremor of a creature approaching the water's edge, and remains utterly still, a master of ambush. The panther commands the forest floor, a master of stealth and sudden violence. It weaves between buttress roots and fallen logs, its body low, tail flicking in anticipation. Every muscle is primed for the explosive burst, a leap, a swipe, a bite. The anaconda reigns in the water, a silent force gliding with deceptive ease through the flooded jungle. Its tongue flicks out, tasting the air, reading the invisible stories carried by the current. Both predators are sculpted by their environments, their senses sharpened by the demands of survival. The panther's power lies in explosive speed and a crushing bite, jaws snapping shut with lethal precision. Its attack is a blur, one moment a shadow, the next a storm of claws and teeth. The anaconda's strength is in patience and constriction, its coils tightening with relentless force until the world goes still. It strikes with lightning speed, seizing prey in a sudden surge, then wraps its muscular body around its victim, squeezing with a pressure that brooks no escape. Each predator is a master of its own deadly art. Their worlds overlap at the river's edge, where pawprints and serpentine trails cross in the mud, a silent testament to their shared dominion. Here, the dense foliage parts to reveal a muddy bank, marked by the passage of both shadow and serpent. The air is thick with the scent of earth and water, the promise of danger hanging heavy in the stillness. Here, dusk blurs the boundaries between land and water. The sky glows with the last embers of daylight, casting long shadows that dance across the riverbank. The jungle holds its breath as the shadow and the serpent sense each other's presence, each a living embodiment of the jungle's raw, untamed power. The panther crouches low, muscles tensed, while the anaconda's coils ripple just beneath the surface, both waiting for the other to make the first move. In these rare moments, the panther's low growl rumbles through the undergrowth, a warning and a challenge. The anaconda's silent stare is unwavering, ancient, and inscrutable. Predator faces predator, neither yielding, both shaped by the relentless struggle for survival. The jungle itself seems to pause, bearing witness to this primal standoff. Such encounters are woven into the very fabric of the Amazon, epic, primal, and forever beyond the reach of human eyes. In this world of shadows and serpents, every day is a battle for supremacy, and every night the jungle writes a new chapter in the ancient saga of predator and prey. In the Amazon jungle, stealth is not just a skill, it is the very language of survival. Here, every leaf, every shadow, every whisper of movement can mean the difference between life and death. The black panther, cloaked in midnight fur, is the ultimate embodiment of this silent mastery, but it is far from alone in this world of hidden wonders. Its dark coat lets it melt into the shadows, vanishing as seamlessly as a katydid disguised as a leaf or a butterfly masquerading as tree bark. The Amazon is a living tapestry of camouflage. Creatures wear the forest itself as a second skin. Insects mimic the veins of leaves, reptiles shimmer with the dappled light, and amphibians become nearly invisible against mossy trunks. The dense foliage, tangled vines, and shifting patterns of sunlight create a labyrinth of hiding places, where predator and prey are locked in a silent, perpetual dance. Every movement in this world is calculated, deliberate. The panther glides with patience and precision, its paws barely disturbing the leaf litter. Nearby, a boa constrictor lies in perfect stillness, its scales blending with the bark, while a glass frog clings to the underside of a leaf, its translucent skin rendering it almost invisible. In the Amazon, silence and stillness are not just tactics. They are weapons, honed by millions of years of evolution. But the jungle is not always quiet. When the moment comes, the panther erupts from the shadows, a blur of muscle and claws, its attack swift and decisive. Other hunters, too, rely on the element of surprise. The jaguarundi darts through the undergrowth in a flash, while the caiman slips beneath the water's surface, waiting for the perfect instant to strike. In these moments, the jungle's silence is shattered by the raw energy of the hunt. The panther's bite is precise and lethal, ending the hunt in a heartbeat. Elsewhere, a tarantula pounces from its burrow, and an electric eel launches a sudden attack from the murky depths. Each predator has perfected its own deadly technique, shaped by the relentless arms race between hunter and hunted. This ruthless efficiency makes the panther a formidable hunter, but it is only one of many. The ocelot slips through the brush with a stolen meal, while the harpy eagle descends in utter silence, its talons closing around an unsuspecting monkey. The jungle is a battleground of silent stalkers, each shaping the delicate balance of life. The panther's varied diet helps maintain the forest's equilibrium, preying on capybaras, tapirs, and more. Even the herbivores and foragers must master the art of stealth. Anteaters move with careful deliberation, and sloths blend into the canopy, their slow movements making them nearly invisible to sharp-eyed predators. The jungle's sensory world is a constant interplay of hiding and seeking. Eyes scan for the faintest flicker of movement, ears tune to the softest rustle, and noses catch the subtlest scent. Poison dart frogs vanish among the leaves, stick insects become part of the branches, and every creature is both hunter and hunted in this intricate web. The panther, perched high above, surveys its domain with unblinking eyes, attuned to every sound and shadow. Night monkeys peer from their hollows, and iguanas bask in stillness, each animal relying on its senses and its camouflage to survive another day. In this world of shadows and silence, every creature is both a master and a student of stealth. The forest thrives on this delicate balance, where the unseen and the unheard shape the destiny of all who call the Amazon home. The Amazon's waterways are a world unto themselves. Vast, winding arteries of life, their surfaces shimmering with the promise of secrets hidden below. Beneath the tangled canopy, the river breathes and pulses, its currents weaving through a labyrinth of submerged roots, fallen branches, and floating islands of vegetation. Here the green Anaconda reigns as an ancient titan, a living legend that can stretch over 6 meters in length, its presence felt in every ripple and shadow. Weighing more than 200 kilograms, this colossal serpent glides silently through the water, its massive body undulating with effortless grace. It shares its liquid realm with a dazzling array of aquatic life. Schools of neon tetras and armored catfish flash through the roots, while river dolphins break the surface in playful arcs. Caimans lurk in the shallows, and piranhas swirl in tight, nervous clusters, all part of a delicate, ever-shifting tapestry of life. The anaconda's olive-green, patterned skin is a masterpiece of evolution, a living mosaic that mirrors the dappled sunlight and tangled vegetation of the river's edge. It glides unseen among floating lilies and mats of aquatic plants, its form vanishing into the shifting shadows, while turtles bask on sunlit logs, oblivious to the silent giant below. Mostly submerged, the anaconda becomes a living current, motionless among the reeds and roots. Electric eels weave through the water, their bodies flickering with hidden energy, while frogs perch on floating leaves, their throats pulsing with song. All are unaware of the lurking danger, the patient predator whose world is defined by patience and sudden violence. When the moment arrives, the stillness shatters. The anaconda explodes into action, its jaws opening wide to seize an unsuspecting victim. Fish scatter in a silver storm, and the water erupts in a frenzy of movement as the serpent's backward curving teeth lock onto flesh, holding fast. Its true weapon is not its bite, but its embrace. The anaconda's coils wrap with relentless power, cutting off air and blood flow, subduing even the strongest of river dwellers. Caimans, capybaras, and even the occasional river dolphin may fall prey, their struggles sending ripples across the water, a silent signal to all who witness the drama. As a top predator, the anaconda is both hunter and guardian of balance. Its presence keeps populations of large herbivores and aquatic creatures in check, shaping the lives of countless species. Herons and kingfishers watch from the branches above, while otters slip through the water, all part of a web of life that depends on the silent monarch below. The river teems with abundance. Dragonflies skim the surface, their wings catching the light, while schools of fish swirl in the clear shallows. The anaconda's presence is a sign of health, a living testament to the richness of this ecosystem, where every creature, from the smallest insect to the largest predator, is bound together in a cycle of life and death. The anaconda glides along the riverbank, a silent monarch shaping the rhythm of life in these waterways. Its dominance is felt by every creature that calls the Amazon home, its story woven into the endless, interconnected dance of predator and prey, growth and decay, abundance and survival. In this world of water and shadow, the anaconda is both legend and lifeblood, a true titan of the Amazon's eternal flow. Deep within the emerald labyrinth of the Amazon, the dry season tightens its grip. The once mighty river has receded, its banks now a mosaic of cracked mud and tangled roots. Life converges here, drawn by the promise of water, a fragile thread binding predator and prey alike. The air is thick with anticipation, every leaf and shadow charged with the knowledge that survival hangs in the balance. The riverbank, usually a place of abundance, has become a crucible where the rules of the jungle are rewritten with every heartbeat. A young black panther emerges from the dappled shade, his obsidian coat rippling with each cautious step. His paws press silently into the soft mud, leaving behind fleeting imprints, signatures of a ghost in the jungle. Golden eyes, sharp and unblinking, scan the shifting tapestry of light and shadow. Every sense is heightened, attuned to the faintest rustle or ripple. The panther's world is one of silence and tension, where every movement could mean life or death. Beneath the surface, another world waits. A colossal female anaconda lies coiled in the murky shallows, her mottled skin blending seamlessly with the riverbed. She is a master of patience, her body a living current, her mind a reservoir of ancient instinct. The water above her quivers with the vibrations of approaching life. She senses the panther's presence, every muscle primed for the moment when stillness erupts into violence. The panther lowers his head, whiskers trembling as he laps at the cool water. His reflection shimmers, fractured by the gentle current. Yet beneath this calm his body is a coil of tension, ears flicking, tail twitching, every sinew ready to spring. He drinks, but his mind never leaves the world of danger that surrounds him. The river is a lifeline, but also a threshold to the unknown. For a fleeting moment the jungle seems to pause. The usual cacophony of insects and birds hushes, as if the entire forest is holding its breath. The air is heavy, thick with the scent of earth and water, and the unspoken awareness that something monumental is about to unfold. Suddenly the river explodes in a maelstrom of spray and sound. The anaconda erupts from the depths, her massive body slicing through the water with terrifying speed. Jaws agape, she aims for the panther's skull, her strike a blur of primal power. The tranquil riverbank is transformed into a battleground, the silence shattered by the chaos of the hunt. The panther reacts in a heartbeat, muscles surging as he twists away, but the anaconda's jaws find their mark, clamping down on his shoulder with bone-crushing force. Instinct ignites within him. He lashes out with razor-sharp claws, fangs bared in a snarl of defiance. The two titans are locked in a deadly embrace, each fighting for dominance in a world where only the strongest survive. The struggle is raw and elemental. The panther's speed and agility clash with the anaconda's relentless strength. He slashes and bites, his movements a blur of desperation and fury. The anaconda counters, her coils tightening, seeking to suffocate and subdue. Each predator draws on the full measure of its power, the outcome uncertain, the stakes absolute. Mud and water erupt in a frenzy as the panther thrashes, desperate to break free. The riverbank becomes a blur of fur, scales, and flying debris. The sounds of the struggle echo through the silent jungle, snarls, hisses, the splash of water, the thud of bodies colliding. All around, the forest watches, its ancient trees bearing silent witness to the collision of two worlds. The anaconda's coils whip around, tightening with merciless force. The panther's powerful limbs strain against the crushing embrace, his breath coming in ragged bursts. Every movement is a test of endurance and willpower, a contest as old as the jungle itself. The panther's claws rake across the anaconda's armored scales, teeth sinking in wherever he finds purchase. The snake's hide is tough, but the panther's resolve is fiercer still. Blood mingles with mud, the scent of battle thick in the air. The battle rages on, a storm of muscle and instinct. Each predator is pushed to the limits of strength and cunning, neither willing to yield. The jungle itself seems to lean in, silent and tense, as the outcome teeters on a knife's edge. The world narrows to this single, savage moment, a contest that will decide who claims the riverbank and who becomes a memory in the mud. Locked in a deadly embrace, their eyes meet, predator against predator, survival against survival. Around them the jungle holds its breath, the ancient trees and hidden creatures bearing witness to this epic collision. In this moment, two worlds have truly collided, and the fate of both hangs in the balance. The panther roars, claws digging deep into the sodden earth, his sinewy muscles coiled like springs beneath his sleek, rain-slicked fur. Every fibre of his being is tuned to the primal rhythm of the jungle, ears flicking at the faintest rustle, nostrils flaring to catch the scent of danger, eyes burning with a wild, unyielding light. In this moment, he is the embodiment of raw instinct, a living shadow poised between life and death. The air is thick with tension, heavy with the scent of wet earth and the electric promise of violence. From the river's edge the anaconda strikes, silent, calculating, a master of patience and ambush. Its massive body surges forward, scales shimmering with the filtered sunlight, each muscle rippling with ancient power. The snake's mind is a cold calculus, every movement measured, every coil a trap set by generations of predatory wisdom. The anaconda's coils wrap around the panther's torso, a living vise tightening with relentless, suffocating force. The panther's lungs burn, his heartbeat a frantic drumbeat echoing through his chest. The snake's strategy is as old as the jungle itself. Wait, squeeze, and let time do the killing. Its patience is a weapon, its grip a slow, inevitable doom. But the panther is no passive victim. He is a creature forged by the crucible of survival, a master of explosive, unpredictable violence. With a guttural snarl, he thrashes, claws flashing in a blur of motion, raking down the snake's armored body. Each strike is guided by instinct, searching for a chink in the serpent's ancient armor, a vulnerable seam beneath the scales. His mind races, every nerve alight with the desperate need to break free. The anaconda's grip only tightens, muscles flexing with a cold, mechanical precision. It is a contest of endurance, one animal's patience against another's ferocity. The snake's cold-blooded calm is its greatest strength, its body a living rope that tightens with every panther's breath, every heartbeat, every second that passes. Yet the panther's mind sharpens under pressure, instincts honed by countless hunts in the tangled undergrowth. He waits, muscles trembling with anticipation for the smallest opening, a moment when the snake's focus wavers, when the coils shift just enough to allow a single, decisive move. In the jungle, survival belongs to those who can read the flow of battle, who can turn instinct into action in the blink of an eye. With a sudden surge of adrenaline, the panther twists violently, his body a blur of muscle and sinew. He pushes away from the river's edge, jaws snapping open, aiming for the snake's most vulnerable point. The world narrows to a single, desperate moment. Every sense, every instinct, every ounce of strength focused on survival. In a final, reckless gamble, the panther lunges for the anaconda's head, risking everything in a ferocious attack. The jungle explodes with sound. Monkeys shriek and scatter. Birds burst from the canopy. Insects whir in a frenzy. The ancient forest itself seems to hold its breath, bearing witness to the raw, unfiltered power of nature's struggle. The panther's canines sink deep into the anaconda's skull, a killing bite honed by generations of predatory mastery. The snake's body convulses, its strength ebbing as the panther's jaws clamp down with unyielding force. This is the moment where instinct and will collide, where the outcome is decided not by size or strength alone, but by the relentless drive to survive. The anaconda spasms, its coils twitching in a final, futile protest before falling still. The struggle ends as suddenly as it began, the jungle's cacophony fading into a heavy, reverent silence. Only the panther's ragged breaths disturb the air, a living testament to the cost of victory. The panther staggers upright, battered and bleeding, his body a map of fresh wounds and old scars. Each step is a triumph of will over pain, a reminder that in the Amazon survival is never given. It is earned inch by bloody inch. The cost is steep, measured in torn flesh and aching lungs, but every breath the panther draws is a victory. His eyes scan the jungle, alert for new threats, his mind already calculating the next move in the endless game of survival. All around, the jungle pulses with life, predators and prey locked in their own silent battles, each moment a test of instinct and adaptation. The Amazon is a living tapestry, woven from the struggles and triumphs of countless creatures, each one playing its part in the eternal cycle. In this world, hesitation is fatal. Every creature's fate is shaped by the strength of its instincts, the sharpness of its senses, and the relentless will to survive. The panther and the anaconda are but two players in a drama as old as the jungle itself. In the end, only one can walk away. The jungle falls silent, forever marked by the clash of titans. As the panther limps into the emerald shadows, his victory hard-won and fleeting, The balance of the jungle is restored, at least for now. As dawn breaks and mist rises among the ancient trees, the cycle of life continues, unbroken and eternal, each new day promising another test of wits, will, and the raw, untamed power of nature. The encounter between the panther and the anaconda is more than a clash of titans. It is a living, breathing story of the Amazon's delicate equilibrium. Every movement, every decision sends ripples through the forest, shaping destinies in ways both seen and unseen. In this vast green world, life is woven together by countless threads. Tiny leaf-cutter ants march in endless lines, harvesting foliage to feed their underground fungus gardens. Above, iridescent butterflies drift through shafts of sunlight, pollinating flowers that will become fruit for monkeys and toucans. Every insect, every bird, every mammal, each plays a part in the grand design, their fates intertwined in a web of survival and adaptation. Apex predators, like the panther and the anaconda, are the silent architects of this balance. The panther stalks the shadows, its presence keeping herbivore populations in check, preventing overgrazing and allowing new growth to flourish. The anaconda, a master of the waterways, preys on capybaras and caimans, ensuring that no single species dominates the riverbanks. Their roles are vital. Without them, the food web would unravel and the forest would lose its harmony. The Amazon's canopy forms a living ceiling, layered with epiphytes, vines, and bromeliads. Here, howler monkeys call out at dawn, their voices echoing through the mist. Sloths move with deliberate slowness, feeding on leaves that few others can digest, while harpy eagles soar above, ever watchful for movement below. Each layer of the forest is a world unto itself, teeming with creatures adapted to its unique challenges. Yet this intricate balance is fragile. A shift in rainfall patterns can alter the flowering of trees, starving pollinators and fruit-eaters alike. The disappearance of a single species, be it a frog, a beetle, or a towering tree, can send shockwaves through the food web, leaving gaps that others may struggle to fill. The scars of imbalance are written in the land, where once lush forest gives way to emptiness. As habitats shrink and fragment, the ancient dance between predator and prey falters. The panther's territory grows smaller, its prey more elusive. The anaconda's rivers become isolated, cutting it off from the abundance it once knew. The survival of these magnificent creatures, and the countless lives connected to them, hangs in the balance. The rivers are the lifeblood of the Amazon, winding through the jungle and linking every corner of this vast realm. Piranhas dart beneath the surface, while river dolphins glide in the currents. Frogs sing from the banks, and otters hunt in playful packs. Each species depends on the rhythms of water, the cycles of flood and drought, and the endless interplay of sunlight and rain. On the forest floor, the story of life is written in every footprint and every rustle in the undergrowth. The jagged print of a panther, the winding trail of an anaconda, the delicate marks of insects and birds, all are signatures in the living ledger of the Amazon. Here the balance of life is a symphony of countless voices, each essential, each irreplaceable, a harmony that must endure for the forest to survive. Deep within the emerald labyrinth of the Amazon, the black panther and the green anaconda move with silent purpose. Each step, each coil, is a testament to the ancient rhythms that have shaped this world for millennia. They embody the spirit of resilience and adaptation, their lives woven into the endless struggle for survival. The panther's shadow glides through tangled roots and dappled light, while the anaconda's sinuous form slips beneath the water's surface, both perfectly attuned to the cycles of their realm. Their rare encounter is more than a clash of predators, it is a glimpse into the Amazon's delicate balance. Here, beauty and danger are forever entwined, and every creature, from the smallest insect to the mightiest hunter, plays a vital role in the grand design. These animals are not monsters, but guardians of an ancient realm. The panther's keen senses keep the forest in check, while the Anaconda's silent patrol shapes the waterways. Each is essential, a living thread in the intricate web of life that holds the rainforest together. The Amazon is a sanctuary of endless wonders, where every tree, every river, and every animal is a note in nature's symphony. The jaguar's roar, the anaconda's silent glide, the flutter of wings, and the chorus of frogs, all are part of a cycle that sustains the world's greatest wilderness. The survival of this realm ensures the rhythm of rainfall, the breath of the earth, and the harmony of countless species. The panther's hunt keeps prey populations balanced, while the anaconda's presence shapes the flow of life along the riverbanks. Every creature, no matter how small or fierce, is a guardian of the cycles that renew the forest. To preserve the Amazon is to safeguard a living masterpiece, a sanctuary where life flourishes in dazzling diversity. The jaguar's silent prowl, the anaconda's patient watch, the ceaseless dance of insects and birds, all are brushstrokes in a portrait of wild abundance. Let the image of these magnificent predators inspire awe and reverence. Their presence is a promise that the ancient cycles endure, that the Amazon's wonders can persist, untamed, unbroken, and free. The wild heart of our planet beats strongest here, in the shadows and sunlight of the rainforest. Its future rests in the strength of its own untamed spirit, and in the enduring harmony of every creature that calls the Amazon home. As the last golden rays of sunlight slip behind the tangled horizon, the Amazon transforms. The emerald canopy, once vibrant and sunlit, now shrouds the world below in a deep, mysterious twilight. Shadows stretch and merge, and the air thickens with anticipation. Beneath this living roof, a hidden world stirs, ready to claim the night. The nocturnal symphony begins, an orchestra not of instruments, but of life itself. Moonlight filters through the leaves, painting silver patterns on the forest floor, while shadows glide and flicker, hinting at the secrets that move within. In the cool hush, the chorus of frogs erupts. Their voices, sharp and rhythmic, bounce off the waterlogged earth, echoing through the undergrowth. Each call is a beacon, a declaration of territory, a search for a mate. The air vibrates with their song, a living pulse that weaves through the night. Above, bats emerge from their secret roosts, wings slicing the humid air in silent arcs. They dart and swoop, weaving intricate patterns as they hunt the clouds of insects that rise from the river's surface. Each bat is a master of the night, guided by echoes, their movements a dance of precision and hunger. Suddenly, the hush is pierced by the haunting call of a nightjar. Its song, eerie and melodic, drifts between the trunks of ancient trees, a solitary note in the vastness. The nightjar perches motionless, its feathers blending with the bark, waiting for the flutter of unsuspecting wings. High above, the glowing eyes of an ocelot pierce the darkness. It moves with ghostly grace, paws silent on mossy branches, muscles rippling beneath its spotted coat. Every step is calculated, every breath measured as it stalks prey unseen, a phantom in the leafy labyrinth. Beneath the water's surface, electric eels stir. Their bodies undulate through the murk, sending out faint pulses, an invisible language that ripples through the black depths. Nearby, caimans glide with predatory patience, their eyes just above the water, watching, waiting, their presence barely disturbing the stillness. In the tangled undergrowth, armadillos shuffle and snuffle, armored bodies rustling through fallen leaves. Their claws dig for beetles and grubs, each movement a soft percussion in the night's symphony, a tireless search for midnight feasts. Moths, delicate and vibrant, flutter through shafts of moonlight. Their wings shimmer like living jewels, drawn to the pale glow that filters through the canopy. They settle on leaves and bark, their colors a fleeting brilliance in the darkness. From the misty heights, the air shivers with the distant roar of howler monkeys. Their voices roll over the forest like thunder, a deep, resonant chorus that marks territory and stirs the sleeping world. the sound lingers, echoing through the trees, a reminder of unseen lives above. Every sound, every movement is a thread in the Amazon's nocturnal tapestry. Predators stalk and prey hide, insects sing, and wings flutter, each creature playing its part in the delicate balance of survival and song. The jungle is alive with motion, a living mosaic of instinct and adaptation. In the shadows, secrets abound. Eyes gleam from the darkness, whiskers twitch, and tails flick. Every rustle, every whisper is a story unfolding, a silent drama of life and death, of hunger and hope, hidden from the world above. The Amazon never truly sleeps. Beneath its starlit veil, life pulses on, wild, wondrous, and untamed. The symphony of the night plays on, each note a testament to the jungle's enduring spirit, awaiting the gentle promise of dawn. Beneath the Amazon's midnight canopy, where moonbeams barely pierce the tangled green, a hidden world pulses with life. Here, every shadow, every whisper of movement is a thread in a vast living tapestry, woven not by chance but by silent partnerships that have evolved over millennia. In this realm, survival is not a solitary pursuit. It is a delicate dance of give and take, where the fate of one species is intimately tied to the fortunes of another. The rainforest thrives on symbiosis and mutualism, relationships so intricate and essential that the very fabric of the jungle depends on them. High above the forest floor, capuchin monkeys leap from branch to branch, their nimble fingers peeling away bark in search of hidden insects. As they forage, they unwittingly scatter a bounty for the ant-birds waiting below, tiny sentinels who have learned to follow the monkey's every move. In return, the ant-birds become vigilant guardians. With sharp staccato calls, they sound the alarm at the first sign of danger, snakes slithering through the leaves or raptors gliding overhead. The monkeys heed these warnings, and so a bond of mutual vigilance is forged, each species watching over the other in a pact of survival. Elsewhere, the heliconia flower unfurls its brilliant petals, a beacon in the dim undergrowth. Its nectar is a treasure, drawing hummingbirds with wings that beat faster than the eye can follow. With every visit, the hummingbird's slender beak becomes dusted with golden pollen. As it darts from bloom to bloom, it unwittingly ferries this pollen across the forest, ensuring the flower's reproduction. The bird is nourished, the plant's lineage secured, a perfect example of mutualism, where both partners flourish. On the forest floor, armies of leaf-cutter ants march in endless, determined lines. Each ant carries a fragment of leaf many times its own weight, a green mosaic moving steadily toward their subterranean home. Deep underground, the ants tend to their precious fungus gardens. The leaves they harvest are not for themselves, but for the fungus, which transforms the plant matter into edible nourishment for the colony. The ants feed the fungus, and the fungus feeds the ants, a cycle of cooperation that sustains both, a model of symbiotic perfection. In the darkness, fruit bats glide silently between the trees, feasting on ripe jungle fruit. As they eat, seeds cling to their fur or pass through their bodies, carried far from the parent tree. With every flight, the bats become gardeners of the night, sowing the seeds of tomorrow's forest, ensuring the jungle's renewal. Even the slow-moving sloth is a world unto itself. Its fur, tinged green with algae, becomes a miniature ecosystem. Moths and beetles make their home among the hairs, while the algae provides camouflage and absorbs nutrients from the sloth's skin. Each benefits from the other, a living mosaic of interdependence. Towering trees, the giants of the forest, are not alone in their struggle for survival. Armies of tiny insects patrol their bark, defending against leaf-eating invaders. In exchange for shelter and food, these insects become loyal guardians, forming alliances as old as the forest itself. These alliances, silent, unseen, and often unrecognized, are the threads that bind the Amazon together. Each partnership, no matter how small, strengthens the whole. In this world, every life is entwined with another. The flutter of a wing, the rustle of a leaf, the call of a bird, each action ripples through the web of life, echoing in the shadows and shaping the destiny of the forest. The Amazon does not thrive in isolation, but in unity. Its strength lies in the countless connections, silent partnerships, mutual aid, and symbiotic bonds that make this jungle the beating heart of life itself. In the heart of the Amazon, the passage of seasons is not marked by calendars, but by the living pulse of the wild. The forest inhales and exhales, its breath visible in the swirling mists that rise at dawn and the hush that settles as dusk falls. Each leaf, each branch, each root is attuned to the ancient rhythm of transformation. The first drum beats of the rainy season echo through the canopy, a symphony of water that awakens the slumbering earth. Torrents cascade from emerald leaves, rivers surge and overflow, and the land is swallowed by the rising tide. The air is thick with the scent of wet earth and the chorus of frogs, insects, and birds rejoicing in the deluge. Water transforms the forest floor into a labyrinth of shimmering pathways. Ancient trees, their roots submerged, stand as silent sentinels above the flood, their trunks reflected in the mirror-like surface. Fish dart between submerged roots, and turtles glide through the new waterways, exploring a world reborn. For the Black Panther, this is a season of shadows and silence. The world she knows is transformed, her territory fragmented by water and shifting light. She moves with spectral grace along the high branches, her paws barely making a sound on the slick, mossy bark. Every muscle is tuned to the rhythm of the rain, every sense sharpened by the challenge of survival. Prey animals, too, are transformed by the flood. Capybaras and agoutis cling to patches of high ground, while smaller creatures vanish into the tangled foliage, their movements dictated by the rising waters. Every hunt becomes a test of patience and precision. The panther's world is a maze of water and shadow, each step calculated, each movement deliberate. Her dappled coat, marked with inky rosettes, melts into the shifting patterns of light and leaf. She is a phantom, perfectly adapted to a world in flux, her presence revealed only by the flicker of a tail or the glint of golden eyes. Beneath the surface, the Anaconda awakens. The floodwaters are her domain, and she glides through the submerged roots with effortless power, a silent shadow in the green gloom. In these swollen waterways, she weaves through tangled vines and roots, her body undulating with the current. The world above is distant, muffled by water and the pulse of her own heartbeat. The abundance of fish and amphibians draws her from her hidden lair. She coils in the shallows, a patient sentinel, waiting for the ripple of movement that signals a meal. The currents carry the stories of her world, the sudden splash of a caiman, the silver flash of tetras weaving through the water, the silent migration of amphibians seeking new breeding grounds. Life pulses beneath the water's skin, each creature adapting to the ever-changing flood. As the rains retreat, the rivers shrink and the land emerges, scarred and renewed. Oxbow lakes and muddy pools are left behind, cradles for new life and battlegrounds for survival. The forest contracts, its inhabitants drawn together by the shrinking water. Tensions rise as predators and prey share the same narrow margins, each driven by hunger and instinct. The panther descends from her arboreal refuge, her world now smaller but teeming with opportunity. The sun breaks through the canopy, illuminating her path as she stalks the forest floor. Tracks and scents become her guides, each print and trail a message in the language of survival. She follows the maze of drying leaves, her senses alive to every possibility. The Anaconda, too, must adapt. She seeks the deepest pools, where the water remains cool and dark, waiting out the heat and conserving her strength for the next surge of life. In these endless cycles of flood and drought, the Black Panther and the Anaconda are sculpted by the wild. Their lives are a testament to the power of adaptation. Each season a new trial, each transformation a story written in tooth, claw, and scale. All around them, the jungle's inhabitants migrate, adapt, and endure. Birds trace new routes through the canopy, monkeys leap between shrinking islands of green, and insects rise in clouds above the steaming earth. The pulse of the wild is unbroken, a dance of resilience and instinct. No human eye witnesses these silent dramas, but in every rainfall and every drought the Amazon's pulse beats on, eternal, untamed, and ever-changing. Here, transformation is the law, and the wild endures, season after season, in a symphony of life. Beneath the emerald canopy of the Amazon, a world of shadows stretches endlessly, a living labyrinth where every leaf, every whisper of wind conceals a potential threat. Here the ground is soft with centuries of fallen leaves, and the air is thick with the scent of moss and decay. Each step is a gamble, for the jungle's beauty is a mask, hiding 1,000 dangers in plain sight. Sunbeams pierce the dense foliage, illuminating flashes of color and movement. But in this world, beauty and peril are so tightly entwined that to admire one is to risk falling prey to the other. The jungle's allure is a siren's call, luring the unwary into its tangled embrace. On a mossy trunk, a glimmer of blue and gold. A poisoned dart frog, no larger than a coin, sits motionless. Its skin, glistening with deadly toxins, is a silent warning to all who pass. Even the hungriest predator knows to heed the message written in its vibrant hues. These colors are not for show. They are a shield, a declaration of danger in a world where hesitation can mean death. The frog's stillness is a calculated risk. Move too soon, and it draws attention. Wait too long, and it becomes a target for something even more cunning. Nearby, a vine drapes from a towering tree, its heart-shaped leaves swaying gently. To the untrained eye, it is harmless, a simple flourish of green. But beneath its innocent facade lies a secret as lethal as any fang or claw. The curare plant, its sap a silent killer, waits for the unwary. A single touch, a careless graze, and the jungle's pulse can falter. This is the realm of botanical assassins, where even the plants have learned the art of survival through deception and poison. High above, the canopy stirs, shadows shift, and a silent watcher emerges from the green gloom. The harpy eagle, monarch of the treetops, glides from its hidden perch. Its wings slice through the air without a sound, and its talons, curved and powerful, promise swift death to any creature caught unaware. With eyes sharper than any blade, the eagle scans the world below. A sloth clings to a branch, moving with glacial patience. A monkey darts through the leaves, every muscle tensed for flight. Both know the price of a single mistake. For those on the forest floor, the fleeting shadow of wings overhead is the only warning, a brief, chilling omen before the strike. Below, the undergrowth is a tapestry of camouflage and patience. A bushmaster snake, its scales a perfect mimicry of fallen leaves, lies in wait. It is a master of stillness, blending so completely with its surroundings that even the sharpest eyes may overlook it. It senses the faintest tremor, a mouse scurrying, a bird hopping. The snake's patience is legendary. It can wait for hours, even days, for the perfect moment to strike. When it does, its venom acts with ruthless efficiency, paralyzing its prey in seconds. In the Amazon, even the ground beneath your feet is alive with hidden peril. Yet, for all its dangers, the jungle is a place of astonishing vitality. Life here is not just about survival, it is about adaptation, innovation, and the relentless drive to endure. Every creature, from the smallest insect to the most formidable predator, has honed its senses and strategies. Some rely on camouflage, others on speed or venom. Some, like the sloth, move so slowly that they become invisible to all but the most patient hunter. The black panther, queen of the shadows, prowls with silent grace. Her muscles ripple beneath her sleek coat as she melts into the undergrowth, every sense alert to the faintest sound or scent. She is both hunter and hunted, her survival dependent on her ability to read the jungle's ever-changing script. In the water, the anaconda glides like a living current, its massive body nearly invisible beneath the surface. It is a master of ambush, striking with explosive power when opportunity arises, yet always wary of larger rivals and unseen threats lurking in the murk. Every encounter in this world is a test, a moment of tension where predator and prey measure each other, each searching for weakness, each aware that a single misstep could mean the end. The jungle's dangers are not merely obstacles, they are the crucible in which resilience is forged. Only the most cunning, the most adaptable, survive to see another dawn. In every shadow, a silent drama unfolds, a story of risk, of calculation, of life balanced on the edge of a knife. In every heartbeat, a decision is made, to flee, to fight, to hide, or to hunt. The stakes are nothing less than life itself. The Amazon's hidden dangers are the pulse of this wild world, shaping every creature's fate and fueling the eternal dance of survival, where only the most vigilant, the most resourceful, and the most daring endure.
Deep within the tangled labyrinth beneath the towering giants of the Amazon, a secret world thrives, one where the smallest creatures are the true masters of survival. Here every inch of earth, every shifting shadow, is alive with stories of cunning and adaptation, written not in words, but in the silent language of disguise. Each leaf is a stage, each patch of dappled sunlight a spotlight for acts of astonishing transformation. Insects, spiders, and tiny amphibians blend seamlessly into the living tapestry, their bodies shaped by millions of years of evolutionary artistry. Watch the leafcutter ants, dwarfed by the vastness around them, as they march in endless columns along invisible highways. Their movements are precise, almost choreographed, each ant carrying a fragment of green overhead like a shield. Their razor-sharp jaws slice through foliage, but it is their teamwork, the silent language of pheromones and touch, that keeps them safe when danger looms. A single chemical signal can send the entire colony into a defensive dance. Soldier ants rush to the front, forming living barricades with their bodies. They sacrifice themselves without hesitation, a living shield that allows the colony to vanish into the undergrowth, leaving predators bewildered. On a slender branch above, a glass frog perches, its emerald skin so translucent that its beating heart is visible beneath. It is a ghost among leaves, a whisper of green that seems to flicker in and out of existence. The frog's body mirrors the mottled surface of the leaf, its delicate limbs pressed flat, its eyes alert. To a prowling snake or a sharp-eyed bird, it is nothing more than a trick of the light, a shimmer, a shadow, a memory. When the rain begins to fall, droplets bead and roll across the frog's skin, making it glisten like a jewel. In the downpour it becomes invisible, a living raindrop lost among thousands. Beneath the leaf litter, a pygmy marmoset, no larger than a human thumb, darts from trunk to trunk. Its movements are quicksilver, a blur of fur and energy that vanishes as soon as it appears. Its fur, streaked in subtle browns and golds, is a masterwork of camouflage.
In the shifting sunlight it becomes a patch of shadow, a flicker of gold, impossible to track. With sharp eyes and nimble fingers, the marmoset snatches insects from the air, then slips into a hollow tree. There it is hidden from all but the most persistent hunter, its presence betrayed only by the faintest rustle. In the cool, damp mud, a caecilian, limbless and nearly blind, burrows deep. Its body is slick, perfectly adapted for a life spent hidden from sight, safe from the talons and jaws above. The caecilian's skin glistens with a subtle sheen, a warning to those who would dare attack. It secretes a mild toxin, a silent chemical shield that deters even the hungriest predator. Hidden beneath layers of mud and leaves, the caecilian waits out the dangers above. Only the faintest ripple betrays its presence, a ghost in the earth, emerging only when the world is still and safe. Across the jungle, every small survivor carries a legacy of adaptation. Some wear patterns that dazzle and confuse. Others flash colors that warn of danger, while many perfect the art of deception, mimicking leaves, twigs, or even the glint of water. They are illusionists, engineers, and acrobats. Some insects leap and twist in mid-air, vanishing before a predator's eyes. Others build intricate shelters from silk and leaves, fortresses that blend perfectly with their surroundings. In a world ruled by giants, it is the subtle, the swift, and the unseen who often outlast the mighty. The jungle's titans may command attention, but it is the hidden ones who endure. Here, survival is not a contest of brute strength, but a dance of strategy and illusion. Camouflage, mimicry, and quick escapes are the tools of the trade, 1,000 tiny miracles unfolding beneath the watchful eyes of the forest. The Amazon's smallest denizens remind us sometimes the greatest power lies in going unseen. In their world of shadows and secrets, survival is an art, and every day the masters of disguise paint themselves into the living canvas of the jungle. As the first blush of dawn spills across the horizon, the mighty Amazon stirs from its nocturnal slumber. The river's surface shimmers, a living mirror, restless and ever-changing, reflecting the emerald canopy above in ripples of gold and green. Each morning, the river is reborn, its currents shifting with the wind, the tides, and the silent pull of the moon. From its hidden source high in the distant hills, the river begins as a slender thread of water, gathering strength as it tumbles over rocks and roots. It carves a ceaseless, winding path, weaving deeper into the heart of the jungle, its journey shaped by the land it traverses and the storms that feed it. The riverbanks are never still. With each passing season, the currents gnaw at the earth, sculpting new curves and swallowing old ones. Sandbars appear and vanish, islands are born and swept away, and the very shape of the river is rewritten by the patient hands of water and time. At the water's edge, ancient trees anchor themselves with tangled roots, clutching the shifting soil. Their branches arch overhead, forming leafy tunnels where the river slips quietly beneath a cathedral of green, the air thick with the scent of earth and growing things. On the lush banks, a family of capybaras grazes in the morning light. Their gentle movements send ripples across the calm water, each wave a silent messenger, carrying news of their presence downstream. Dragonflies, like living jewels, dart in flashes of iridescent blue. They skim the surface, their wings barely touching the water as they hunt for prey, tracing invisible paths above the ever-moving current. As the river widens, the jungle parts to reveal sunlit sandbars. Here, caimans bask in silent patience, their ancient eyes watching the water's flow, attuned to every subtle change in the current. Kingfishers perch on overhanging branches, their feathers bright against the green. With sudden, precise dives, they pierce the surface, snatching fish from the river's depths before returning to their silent vigil. The air vibrates with the calls of howler monkeys, their voices echoing across the water. Their chorus marks the boundaries of their world, carried far by the river's open expanse. Downstream, the river spills over its banks, flooding the forest and transforming the landscape. Tree trunks rise from the water like ancient pillars, their roots submerged in a world where land and river merge. Scarlet macaws flash between the branches, their colors a blur against the green. Below, river dolphins glide through submerged roots, their sleek bodies weaving through the labyrinth of the flooded forest, barely breaking the surface as they breathe. In these waters, giant otters patrol in playful groups, their sharp eyes scanning for danger and opportunity. Their calls echo across the river, a language as fluid and shifting as the current itself. As dusk approaches, a silver mist curls above the water, softening the world. The chorus of insects swells, their voices rising in a symphony that marks the river's transition from day to night, Night herons emerge from the shadows, their movement slow and deliberate as they stalk the shallows, hunting for their evening meal beneath the fading light. The river's journey is one of endless transformation. It nourishes the jungle, linking creatures great and small in a web of life that stretches from the smallest insect to the largest predator. Every current, every eddy, every shifting shore is a chapter in the river's Odyssey. No human footsteps disturb these shores. Here, only the eternal dance of water and wildlife shapes the world, each movement a brushstroke in the ever-evolving masterpiece of the Amazon. Each bend in the river tells a new story, a living tapestry woven from the threads of land, water, and the wild hearts that call it home. The river's Odyssey is unending, its currents forever changing, its shores forever shifting, carrying the pulse of life through the heart of the jungle. As the velvet night deepens, a hush falls over the Amazon, but it is not a silence of emptiness. Rather, it is the prelude to a symphony. The darkness settles like a thick blanket, and the jungle awakens in a chorus that is as ancient as the forest itself. The Amazon transforms into a living orchestra, every leaf, every branch, every shadow a potential instrument. The air is thick with anticipation, and then sound erupts, wild and layered, weaving a tapestry of life. From the high canopy, the haunting calls of howler monkeys begin, their deep-throated roars rolling like thunder through the tangled green. Each call reverberates, echoing across miles, a primal announcement of presence and power. Their voices rise and fall, sometimes overlapping, sometimes solitary, a chorus that marks territory and binds the troop together in the darkness. High above, the shrill cries of parrots slice through the dusk, their calls sharp and urgent, flashing between treetops in a flurry of emerald and scarlet wings. Their wings beat the humid air, each burst of colour accompanied by a cacophony of squawks and whistles, a vibrant counterpoint to the deeper notes below. Down on the forest floor, the undergrowth stirs with hidden life. Concealed among the roots and fallen leaves, frogs begin their nightly chorus, a swelling tide of sound that rises from the shadows. Each species adds its own unique note, some sharp and metallic, others deep and resonant, together creating a layered harmony that pulses through the night. The air shivers with their trills and croaks, a living code that signals territory, attraction, and warning. Some calls are so high-pitched they seem to shimmer, while others thrum like distant drums, echoing through the thick, damp air. Cicadas join the orchestra, their electric hum rising and falling in perfect synchrony, a relentless pulse that vibrates through the trunks of ancient trees. Their wings pulse in unison, creating a wall of sound that seems to hold the night together, as if the forest itself is breathing. Overhead, the leaves rustle in the gentle breeze, whispering secrets to one another, their soft susurration a delicate counter-melody to the animal calls. Along the riverbanks, the music shifts. The sudden splash of a caiman slipping into the inky water sends ripples through the silence, a low, liquid note in the symphony. A turtle plops beneath the surface, the sound soft and round, quickly swallowed by the gentle lap of currents against tangled roots. The river itself murmurs, its voice constant and soothing, a backdrop to the drama unfolding on its banks. In the shadows, night birds awaken, their calls ranging from harsh, questioning hoots to soft, melodious whistles that float through the thick, humid air. Each note weaves through the tapestry, sometimes solitary, sometimes answered, a conversation carried on the wind. Insects add their own shimmering backdrop, wings whirring, legs clicking, bodies vibrating in a ceaseless rhythm, filling every gap in the soundscape with their tiny, persistent music. Suddenly, a twig snaps, a sharp punctuation in the night. As an ocelot glides silently through the underbrush, its presence felt more than seen. Above the canopy, bats flutter and swoop, their wings slicing the air in near silence. Only the keenest ears catch their high-pitched squeaks, a secret language nearly lost in the symphony below. Far off, thunder rumbles, a deep, rolling drum that promises rain and stirs the orchestra to new heights. Every sound is a message, each note a warning, an invitation, a declaration of territory, or a song of longing that drifts through the darkness. The animals communicate in a language older than words, their calls and songs shaping the night, defining the boundaries of life and survival. Some voices rise in longing, others in challenge, but all are woven into the living fabric of the Amazon soundscape. Here, in the heart of the jungle, true silence is a rarity, fleeting, almost mythical. Instead, the wild pulses with life, every moment alive, with the voices of countless creatures, each one adding its own thread to the endless song. The music of the jungle is a living testament to the abundance and diversity of life, a symphony that never repeats, never rests. It is a soundscape as intricate as the forest itself, layered, ever-changing, and eternal. In the Amazon, the night is alive, a living orchestra, wild and untamed, echoing the heartbeat of the world's greatest rainforest. In the Amazon, weather is not merely a backdrop. It is the sovereign ruler, a relentless force that commands, shapes, and transforms every living creature beneath its ever-changing sky. The reign of rain is absolute, its presence felt in every breath, every movement, every heartbeat of the wild. The monsoon arrives with little warning, dark clouds rolling in like a living wall, thunder rumbling through the canopy. Rain falls in sudden, furious torrents, drumming on leaves and swelling rivers until they burst their banks, flooding the forest floor and erasing the boundaries between land and water. The world becomes liquid, a vast, shifting mosaic of green and brown, where the ground itself seems to breathe and move. For the Black Panther, the storm is both a challenge and an opportunity. As lightning forks across the sky, the panther's velvet paws slip silently through the drenched undergrowth, fur slick with rain, muscles tensed and senses sharpened by the electric charge in the air. Each droplet magnifies the sense of the forest, revealing hidden trails and fresh stories written in water. The panther's world expands and contracts with each downpour. New scents bloom, prey tracks are washed away, and the hush of rainfall masks every movement. The storm cloaks the hunter and the hunted alike, turning the jungle into a theatre of shadows and whispers. Beneath the surface, the Anaconda reigns in the season-swollen waterways. The rain transforms the forest into a labyrinth of submerged roots and tangled vines, a world where the Anaconda glides with effortless grace, its massive form nearly invisible in the murky depths. Flooded plains become endless corridors, twisting and turning through the drowned jungle. The Anaconda patrols these watery highways, its movements silent, its presence felt only in the sudden ripple of water or the fleeting shadow beneath the surface. As the river rises, fish and birds are drawn to new feeding grounds, unaware of the silent titan lurking below. The Anaconda glides unseen, a master of patience and power, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. For the caiman and the river dolphin, the flood is both a gift and a trial. Hidden channels and secret pools open, offering new opportunities and new dangers. The caiman slips through the flooded forest, hunting in silence, while the river dolphin navigates the labyrinth, its clicks and whistles echoing through the water. Above, the canopy is alive with its own drama. Rain hammers the leaves, sending birds flitting from branch to branch, their feathers slick and shining in the storm's silver light. Birds time their nesting to the rhythm of the rains. Chicks hatch as insects surge in number, the bounty of the storm feeding new life. Every drop of rain is a signal, a cue for the next act in the endless cycle of survival. Frogs emerge in vibrant chorus after the first heavy showers, their calls rising to meet the thunder. Each song is a race against the receding flood, a desperate bid to attract a mate before the waters vanish once more. Insects, too, are governed by the shifting weather. Some flourish in the damp, their numbers exploding in the humid air, while others vanish, swept away by the rising waters or drowned in the relentless deluge. As the dry season returns, the jungle contracts. The rivers shrink, revealing cracked earth and shrinking pools, the lush world of rain giving way to a harsher, thirstier landscape. Waterways dwindle, food grows scarce, and competition intensifies. Every creature is drawn to the last remaining water, predator and prey alike, their fates entwined by the whims of the weather. The black panther must range farther, its territory stretched thin by the shrinking rivers. The anaconda lies in ambush beside the last pools, waiting for the unwary. Even the smallest creatures adapt, burrowing deep or clinging to the last green leaves, each one a testament to the jungle's resilience. Every animal, from the tiniest ant to the mightiest predator, lives by the Amazon's seasonal beat, a cycle of abundance and scarcity, shaped by the ceaseless hand of weather and climate. The jungle's pulse is set by the rain, its rhythm echoed in every life. In this world, survival is not a solitary act, but a dance with the elements. Every creature moves in step with the rain and sun, their destinies woven together by the ever-shifting moods of the sky. Here, the rain is a drumbeat, the sun a spotlight, and every life is choreographed by the wild, unpredictable symphony of the Amazon sky. The reign of rain is eternal, its legacy written in every leaf, every ripple, every heartbeat of the jungle. In the heart of the Amazon, beneath the emerald canopy, a silent collaboration unfolds, a living web woven by plants in a dance as intricate as any animal's. Here, every trunk, branch, and leaf is both stage and participant in a drama millions of years in the making. The mighty caber tree rises above the forest, its buttressed roots anchoring it to the shifting earth. Around its vast girth, a tapestry of life clings and climbs. Epiphytes, orchids, bromeliads, ferns find sanctuary high above the forest floor, their roots never touching the ground. They gather moisture from the mist and rain, capturing falling leaves and debris to create miniature worlds in every crevice. Some cradle pools of water in their leaves, cradling tadpoles, insects, and even tiny frogs in their emerald basins, transforming a single plant into a thriving microcosm. Vines twist and spiral, reaching for the light. Lianas and strangler figs begin their lives in the shadows, sending tendrils skyward, winding around their hosts in a patient ascent. Some vines use trees as ladders, their leaves unfurling in the sun-dappled heights, while others, like the strangler, slowly envelop their host, reshaping the very architecture of the forest. The struggle is quiet, but relentless, a contest of patience and persistence, where sunlight is the ultimate prize. On the forest floor, leaf litter decomposes into a rich humus, feeding the roots of giants and saplings alike. Mycorrhizal fungi, invisible to the eye, connect the roots of neighboring plants in a vast underground network. Through these hidden threads, trees share nutrients and chemical signals, warning each other of threats and lending strength to the weak, a silent communion that binds the forest together. Above, the canopy is a patchwork of green, every leaf angled to catch the precious light. Some trees shed their leaves in the dry season, conserving water, while others burst into sudden, spectacular bloom, their flowers calling to pollinators with color and scent. Fruits ripen in waves, feeding birds, monkeys, and bats, who in turn scatter seeds far and wide, ensuring the next generation of the forest. No plant stands alone. Each is entwined with countless others, supporting, competing, and communicating in a living network more complex than any web. Together they form the green heart of the Amazon, sustaining every creature that calls this place home. In this vast, breathing tapestry, every root and leaf is a thread, every branch a bridge. The Amazon's plants are not mere backdrop, but the architects and caretakers of the wild. A living web, ever-changing, ever-enduring, beneath the endless rain of rain. Beneath the towering giants and tangled vines, another Amazon thrives, a world so small it escapes the naked eye, yet so vital that the forest could not exist without it. Here, amidst fallen leaves and damp soil, billions of creatures stir in perpetual motion. the micro-world, ruled by insects, fungi, and microorganisms. Ants march in endless lines, their bodies glistening with dew, carrying fragments of leaves high above their heads. These are the leaf-cutter ants, nature's tireless farmers. Deep underground, in chambers sculpted from the earth, they tend vast fungal gardens. The leaves they harvest are not for themselves, but to feed their precious fungus, their true sustenance. In return, the fungus thrives, breaking down tough plant fibers and transforming the forest's bounty into nourishment for the colony. Nearby, a beetle polishes the surface of a decaying log, its jaws working ceaselessly, breaking down wood into rich humus. Termites, too, play their part, their colonies hidden within mounds that rise like miniature fortresses from the forest floor. Together, these silent workers recycle the dead, returning nutrients to the soil and fueling the next generation of life. But the architects of this microcosm are not insects alone. Fungi, in 1,000 shapes and colors, erupt from the shadows, some as delicate as lace, others bold and bright as fire. Their threads, or hyphae, weave through the earth and wood, digesting, decomposing, connecting. Some form ghostly networks that stretch for meters, others burst forth as mushrooms after the rain, releasing clouds of spores into the humid air. Invisible to all but the most powerful lens, microorganisms, bacteria, protozoa, and archaea, dwell in every drop of water and grain of soil. They feast on detritus, break down toxins, and forge nutrients from decay. In their silent, ceaseless labor, these microscopic beings are the engines of the forest, underpinning every chain of life above. Every inch of the Amazon's floor is a metropolis teeming with life. A spider weaving a silk trap for unsuspecting prey, springtails leaping like tiny acrobats from leaf to leaf, a millipede curling defensively as a predatory mite approaches. Here, survival hinges on speed, stealth, and the ability to exploit the narrowest of niches. In this invisible kingdom there are no silent moments. The air vibrates with the hum of wings, the soil pulses with unseen energy, and every fallen branch becomes a bustling city. The microworld is the Amazon's foundation, its silent caretakers and tireless recyclers, ensuring that nothing is wasted and that life, in all its forms, flourishes. This is the Amazon as few will ever see it, a universe in miniature, intricate, relentless, and indispensable, hidden beneath every step in the world's greatest rainforest. Every year, the Amazon breathes in rhythm with the rains. As distant storms gather and rivers swell, the great flood arrives, a cycle as ancient as the forest itself. Water spills from the banks, transforming the landscape into a boundless, shimmering expanse. Trees that once stood proud on dry ground now anchor themselves in a silent, underwater world. For wildlife, this is a season of transformation. Armies of fish surge into the newly formed flooded forest, their scales flashing in shafts of light that pierce the canopy above. Pirarucu, giants of the waterways, glide between trunks, feasting on fruits and seeds that drop from submerged branches. Monkeys and sloths, marooned on makeshift islands, leap from treetop to treetop, their worlds condensed to leafy sanctuaries above the water's reach. Anacondas, silent and unseen, slip through the flooded undergrowth, following the scent trails of capybara and caiman. Birds, too, adapt to this new world. Jacanas step lightly across floating vegetation, while herons stand motionless, waiting for the perfect moment to strike at passing prey. For the plants, the flood is both a challenge and a gift. Roots, once confined to parched earth, now drink deeply from nutrient-rich waters. Seeds, carried by currents, find new homes far from the parent tree, ensuring the forest's endless renewal. In the canopy, epiphytes and orchids collect the mist and rain, thriving in the humid air. Below, aquatic grasses and floating lilies stretch towards the sun, their leaves unfurling across the water's mirror-like surface. As the months pass and waters recede, the forest is reborn. Fish return to the river's main channel, carrying nutrients back into the heart of the Amazon. The soil, replenished by the flood, erupts with new growth, vivid greens and bursts of color marking the beginning of another cycle. Here, in the great flood, life adapts, endures, and flourishes. The Amazon's pulse beats strong, the ebb and flow of water shaping every creature and every leaf. In this eternal dance between river and rainforest, the boundaries of land and water blur, and the story of survival is written anew with every season. Above the emerald tapestry of the Amazon, a symphony takes flight at dawn. Birds, countless, diverse, and dazzling, become the living breath of the rainforest. Their wings paint fleeting shadows across sun-dappled leaves, and their calls, sharp, melodious, haunting, echo through the vast cathedral of trees. From the crimson flash of the scarlet macaw to the iridescent shimmer of hummingbirds, each species plays a vital role in the intricate web of life. Flocks of tanagers flit through the mid-canopy, their chatter stirring insects from leaves. Toucans with bills like living rainbows pluck fruits and scatter seeds far from their origin, ensuring the forest's endless regeneration. Harpy eagles, silent and regal, patrol the upper branches, keeping the balance by preying on monkeys and sloths, nature's way of maintaining harmony. As the seasons turn, the air fills with the wing beats of migrants. Swallows and nightjars arrive from distant continents, drawn by the promise of abundance. Their journeys, spanning thousands of miles, connect the Amazon to the wider world, weaving invisible threads between ecosystems. These travelers feast on insects, pollinate flowers, and bring new genetic vigor to resident flocks. But it is the birdsong that shapes the spirit of the forest. Antbirds whisper in the understory, guiding armies of leaf-cutter ants. Tinamous call from the shadows, their fluted notes rising like mist. Each song is a signal of territory, of warning, of love, a language older than memory. The canopy becomes a living orchestra, where every note has its purpose. In the life of the Amazon, birds are both guardians and gardeners. They disperse seeds, control pests, and fertilize the soil with every flight. Their presence signals the health of the ecosystem, their absence a silent warning. Through storm and sunshine, flood and drought, these avian architects shape the rainforest as much as the river shapes its banks. As dusk falls, the chorus shifts. Nightjars and owls take up the refrain, their calls threading through the darkness. In the Amazon, life never sleeps. It soars, sings, and survives on wings of wonder. Beneath the soaring symphony of the canopy, where sunlight sifts down in golden fragments, lies a world unseen, the forest floor, the Amazon's silent engine. Here, in the perpetual twilight, life and death entwine in an endless dance. Fallen leaves, ancient logs, and tangled roots form a living tapestry, soft underfoot, yet teeming with relentless activity. Every step stirs a universe in miniature. Armies of leaf-cutter ants march in disciplined columns, bearing fragments of green to their subterranean gardens. Termites, tireless architects, tunnel through dead wood, breaking down what once stood tall. Millipedes and beetles, nature's recyclers, feast on decaying matter, transforming yesterday's grandeur into tomorrow's promise. Fungi, hidden from view, spread their thread-like mycelium through the soil, unlocking nutrients trapped in the debris. Their fruiting bodies, delicate mushrooms and strange luminous forms, rise briefly to the surface before melting back into the earth. In this shadowed realm, decomposition is not decay, but renewal. Each fragment of leaf, each fallen petal, becomes food for the smallest denizens, springtails, mites, and microscopic nematodes. Their ceaseless work releases precious nitrogen and phosphorus, feeding the roots of towering trees above. As rain filters through layers of mulch, it carries nutrients down to the thirsty roots. The cycle is seamless, invisible, and vital, linking every creature from the tiniest fungus gnat to the mightiest ceiba tree. The forest floor is a crucible of transformation, where waste becomes wealth and death sparks new beginnings. Here, nothing is wasted. Even the bones of fallen animals are swiftly claimed by scavengers and decomposers, their essence returned to the living web. In the hush beneath the leaves, life pulses in 1,000 hidden forms. Quiet, efficient, eternal. The Amazon's grandeur begins not above, but below. The forest floor, dark and uncelebrated, is the heartbeat of the wild. In its shadows, the rainforest's future is quietly, endlessly renewed.